All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Math. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Mr. Lunsford, and we are picking up with parts D and E. Now, yesterday we did number 8's parts A, B, and C. So let's look at our formulas again. This is the answer to part D. 265M equals D for Peter, and 249M equals D for Yvetta. And again, these are the formulas that we're looking at to figure out the distances for the men and the women swimming the English Channel. So part E, if Peter swam the channel in 6 hours, 57 minutes, and 50 seconds, how wide is the English Channel? So the whole theme behind this is conversions, and the rate is in feet per minute. 265 feet times 1 minute equals total distance. So we got a bunch of time measurements. We have to convert apples to apples. We have to have all of our time measurements be in minutes. So let's take this one piece at a time. Nothing's overwhelming if you break it down one part at a time. So how many minutes are there in 6 hours? Okay, 60 minutes in an hour. So you could form a proportion. 6 over 1 is equal to x over 60. Now, some of you are going to remember this chart from class, but this time we're not using it for percentages. We're cross multiplying. 6 times 60 equals 1 times x. The answer is just 360. So there's 360 minutes in 6 hours. All right. So here's step 2. Peter swam the channel in 6 hours, 57 minutes, and 50 seconds. There's no need for conversion for that. 57 minutes is 57 minutes. So we're just going to add that to our equation. So let's look at that 50 seconds portion of it. What part of a full minute is 50 seconds? And we're going to express this as a decimal. So 50 over 60 equals x over 1.0, not over 100, but over 1.0. We're converting this to a decimal because we need to have something to add to our whole numbers. So cross multiply. 50 times 1 equals 60 times x. Then we just have 50 equals 60 times x. We're going to isolate that variable. And yes, we're going to divide like we've been doing with equations. 0.83 equals x. You might get 0.83333 repeating, but it's just x equals 0.83. Now, what do we do with that? 360 minutes plus 57 minutes plus 0.83 minutes is going to give us our total number of minutes, 417.83 minutes. So now we've converted all that time into minutes. What do we do next? Plug it into our formula. So 265 times minutes equals the distance. 265 times 417.83 equals our distance. And when we multiply that out, we get 110,724.95 feet. Now, what do we do next? We're not finished with it. The question wants us to give it in miles. So let's convert it. We're going to form another proportion. That 5,280 actually comes from the question. There's 5,280 feet in a mile. So there's our proportion. Our answer, 110,724.95 over 5280 equals x over 1. So we break it down here. We divide by 5280. And what we get is 20.9706. All right. So there is our answer. X equals 20.9706. And that's about 21 miles if you round it to the nearest whole number. All right, so there's our answer. Now, for those of you wondering what the English Channel is, basically it's a branch of the Atlantic Ocean. And it separates, see that yellow? It separates the south of England from the north of France. And so there's England in that purple right there. And if you look down, there is France. And yes, this is on the opposite side of the world. And back in the day, people used to test their strength and their endurance by swimming across this thing. So they would basically swim 21 miles of water. That's something else. So there you go. There's math, there's history, and there's 5 minutes of math. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you for listening.